Welcome everyone. In this video we're going to be setting up a TCP listener, and we'll be using Python 3.9 for this setup. So to begin with, I have two terminals. The one on the left will be our server. This one will be listening for connections, and on the right we have the client, which will be attempting to make a connection and communicate to the server. And as you can see over here, I'm in a Conda Virtual Environment. If you would like to set up your own Conda environment to do this in, I can give you the steps here. We'll step through the process of setting that up. So the first thing you need to do as root is install the Conda package. DNF install Conda. You would hit enter and answer Y to the prompt and complete the installation. Once it's installed, I generally log out of the terminal and log back in to initialize the package, the Conda package. The next step as a regular user is to create the new environment. So this will be Conda create -n for the name. We'll name this test, and Python version is 3.9. So you hit enter here, it'll create a test, a new Conda environment called test, and Python 3.9 will be installed in the environment. The next step will be to activate the new environment or enter the new environment. So that would be Conda activate, and in this case we named it test. Hit enter, and we should be in the new environment. You can tell by the environment name showing up on the left side of your command prompt. If you see that, then you're good. All right, from here, let's go ahead and set up the server side of the socket. So we will create a file, call it server. So we'll vi server.py, hit enter, and then I for insert, and then we will import the socket module. So import socket, enter, a couple lines down. The next step will be to create the address information for the listener. So addr equals socket.get addr info, and in this case we'll use the IP, we'll use 0.0.0.0, use the close quote, and comma, and then we will listen on port 8081, parenthesis. Enter. Let's move on to the next. And next entry will be bind. And we will bind to the addr info above. The last entry is for the listener. All right, once we execute this this file, we will print a message. It'll say listening on address, and we'll use the addr info again and enter. Next we'll have a while true statement, and it will say accept connections, accept the client connections. Once the client is connected, we'll print a message. connected from address, and then we'll use the ADDR entry again, and this will print a message saying connected from address, and then it'll list the IP address and port number that the client's connected on. All right, the next step will be to accept the data that the client is sending over, or receive the data. And 1024, the next step would be to decode the data. The data has to be encoded in byte format in order to be sent over. Once the client receives, or once the server receives it, it decodes it and then is able to display it. So this line here, the data decode, and then close parenthesis on the print command. And on this we don't need quotes, it's a... Alright, once we're done, the next step is to, well, the next step would be, while true, receive the data, decode it, and print it to the screen. If there's no data, then it'll close the connection. So let's do that. If not, data break, and then send all data. So I think we've completed the server side. Alright, so the next step is to open the port on the server. It's already done on mine, so it'll tell me it's already open, but if the port isn't open on your system, you'll have to do this in order for the client to connect. So for me, I have to su to root. Okay, and I would type in firewall command, add port equals 8081/TCP. And if you want to make it permanent, you would do --PERM and hit enter. And as I said, mine's already enabled, so what will happen to you is the warning will not display for you if it's not open. You'll just get the success once the port's successfully opened. So that pretty much does it for the server side. Let me do a exit here, get back down to my regular user, and let's go ahead and move over to the client system here. So on this side, we'll do create a file called client. So we'll do a vi client.py, enter, do I for insert, and again we need to import the socket module, and we'll need the information of the server side, the network information. So we'll do a host equals, in this case is .20, closed quote. Next line, we'll need the port number that we're going to be connecting on, and this will be 8081. All right, the next step is to create our side of the socket. So AF inet, comma, socket, sock stream, and close parenthesis, and then as CLI and colon, next line. This will be our connect command, and it will use the host and the port listed above. So this will be client connect and double open parenthesis, and we'll type in host, comma, port, and then double close, enter, and we'll print a message. It says message sent. Be consistent. Message sent, closed quote, closed parenthesis, enter, and then the client will send his data over using the send all. And here is where it's encoded. So we'll say this converts it to byte data, the B, and we'll say hello from client, close quote, close parenthesis. And let's see, escape, right quit to save this file. Our next step will be to start our listener. So we'll do Python server.py, enter. You see up here it's listening on 0.0.0.0, port 8081, and our next step is to run the client side, client.py, and enter. And we've sent our data over. Yeah, we haven't done anything over here, so that line doesn't really matter. But you can see here, connected from address, that's the IP address and the port number that the client is connecting on. And this is the message that we sent to the client, or to the server, anyway. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There are probably many other things you can do with a TCP socket besides this. So test things out, try different things, figure out different ways of using this, and have fun, I guess. And I think that's it. So, well, as usual, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like my video, please click the like button, and thank you for watching.